Yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy Monday and happy Memorial Day. Welcome back to the 10-Minute Mailbag, the MLB The Show series where I, kdjTV, take user questions from the YouTube and Discord, and I give you good answers, what I hope are good answers. Today is actually really just, probably only two questions. It might just be one because we've got a really, really good one that I think is worth diving into. So if you like this type of content, hit the like button, of course. Subscribe on the road to 7,000, very, very close. And if you want to participate in the series, because it can't exist without you, leave your comments down below or join the Discord and leave your channel questions there, I guess. Do all the things, all the YouTube stuff, please. Okay, here we go. Love you. All right, ladies and gents, let's do it. 10 minutes on the clock, as is per the usual, and we're going to hop right into this thing. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. I've hit the button. Our big question today comes from your T1. I feel like I had to say it like that. I'm an adult. Adults probably don't speak that way, but here we are. Hey, Kenny, can you explain what the stats are and the importance of stats like vision, discipline, and durability? It just feels like I don't know how good a card is or isn't based on those stats, and it would help to know what those stats were so I can know what cards to put into my lineup. So, very first, nitpick thing. Those are not stats. These are not stats. They're attributes. These are stats. Stats are what you accumulate. Attributes are what you are given in particular categories. I know 100% what you're saying, and I don't mean to be a dick about it. I'm just educating. That's all I'm doing here, just educating the community. I know we all know what we're talking about, though, so it's fine. Just wanted to put that out there. Secondly, before we actually talk about what the attributes do, a general statement. Within reason, you don't need to make lineup decisions based on attributes. Like, within reason. Obviously, sometimes if all things are created equal, you're going to choose the better fielding attribute, speed attribute, etc., whatever. Choose your lineup based on cards you like to use, swings you like to use, players you know you're good with. Just as a general statement. But, now, to your point. So, this is the Diamond Dynasty home screen. We can all agree on this, yes? We can all agree on this. When you're on this screen, I play on PlayStation. So I have what's called the triangle button. For you people who play on Xbox, I don't know what the hell that button's called. It could be a pie symbol, for all I know. But hit that button. Hit that button. And then look at this. We have the Diamond Dynasty Handbook. The Book of Hands, as I like to call it. If we go down 4 levels, 1, 2, or I guess 3 levels, to attribute descriptions, you get everything you need to know. So we will read through now some of the more interesting ones. Contact, we know what contact is. It is counteracted by a pitcher's hit per 9. Power, we know what power does. Oops, I hit the wrong button, I'm sorry. There we go. Vision. I've also made a video on vision in the past. Because a few years ago, there was a Lightning Aaron Judge card that everyone was very disappointed in because the vision was bad. And that kind of seemed to spark the whole what the hell is vision conversation in our community. Some people are not impacted by low vision, like some individual players, like, the people who hold the controller, not in-game players, like us players. Some players love high vision. I'm one of them. I need higher vision. It makes me feel comfortable. High vision helps the batter make contact even with bad timing or poor PCI location, resulting in fewer misses and strikeouts. Vision influences when a borderline check swing is early or late. Vision is directly counteracted by a pitcher's K per 9 attribute. The outer PCI is the visual example of vision, despite being half of what it does. High vision creates more favorable timing windows, that's important, hit types, and impacts foul miss put in play ratios. Vision is like contact, but it primarily focuses on the strikeout components, the swing and miss components. All very interesting information. The big takeaways here. Timing windows, very impactful on that. Check swings, allegedly impactful on that. I'm not saying it's not. I just think it's still more user input than anything else. And it's just about swinging and missing. So people with high vision might tend to have more off PCI contact based on this explanation. Discipline. Wouldn't you know, it doesn't do shite. High discipline will increase the frequency of a batter backing off the plate on inside pitches. Is that a skill? I don't think that's a skill. If that's a skill, it's news to me. I don't think this should be an attribute at all. Just remove discipline from the equation. But that's just me. That's just me. Clutch. There's a common misconception with clutch, and this will hopefully explain some of that. Clutch takes the place of contact with runners in scoring position situations. Clutch factors in the contact versus right and contact versus left split to calculate its own clutch right and clutch left value. In other words, contact is out the window and clutch replaces it. Clutch is directly countered by a pitcher's pitching clutch attribute. Now, that second sentence there where it calculates its own clutch right and clutch left. If you have 125 clutch, I'm just using that as an easy example, but you have 110 contact right and 100 contact left, your PCI size will not be the same with a runner in scoring position, depending on right versus lefty pitcher. It will be slightly smaller, favoring, or not favoring the other side. So just something to keep in mind. There is an enormous, and when I say enormous, I mean father long leg spider within my eye line. So if I keep looking up, I'm just making sure I'm not about to be murdered in my chair. I will take care of that in 4 minutes and 30 seconds when this is over. Bunt, drag, bunt, we don't need to worry about that. Look, and if you notice here, durability, because it is a useless Diamond Dynasty attribute, as we know, doesn't even appear here in the attribute descriptions. Or maybe it'll appear later on. It didn't appear up top. Maybe it's in like a separate category. We know what fielding does. We know what arm strength does. Oh, he's making his moves. He's moving away from me, though, so that's good. Arm strength, accuracy, reaction. That is fine. Blocking, athleticism. Interesting, that's just called athleticism. Where's base running aggressiveness? Is that not athletic? Look at me. I'm learning stuff, too. Non-Diamond Dynasty. Home run per 9. Home run per 9 is a simulation stat. Does not impact Diamond Dynasty. Base running aggressiveness. Base running aggressiveness is a simulation stat. Does not impact Diamond Dynasty. Durability. Simulation stat. Does not impact Diamond Dynasty. Home run per 9, base running aggressiveness, durability, do not impact Diamond Dynasty. I'm glad they did it like that, where they just separated. These three things don't matter. We have 3 entire attributes that sometimes SDS uses to boost these cards that don't have anything to do. 0, 0, nada, nil. I don't know other ways to say 0. Squadouche, goose egg. That they don't impact the cards. Squadouche is a great one. You guys can take that into your everyday life. But yes, so all of these attribute descriptions are at your fingertips right here. Again, just hit the triangle or the pi theta kappa button at the top of your Xbox controller, and you'll have all the information you'll ever need. There are also some other valuable things here. Buying and selling cards. I think this is all pretty straightforward, but if you have questions, it might be in here. Managing your team. Weekend Classic, Diamond Quest, Ranked, like everything. Look, this is a massive handbook. It's got everything in it. Captains, Parallel XP. This is actually kind of useful. It tells you how much you get for doing some stuff and where you can get PXP. Customization. This is a tool that I don't even use like I should. It's a good place to find actual factual information. But your T1, thank you for your question. I hope this was insightful. And I hope, with all due respect, I don't have to read your name on the internet again. Because I'm 32 years old. But thank you. Next question. From Esther, or is it just Stir? I don't know. 402. Hey, Kenny, what can SDS do to mix up the meta pitch mix going forward? Sinkers seem to be the pitch that the majority of players struggle to hit. And some people won't even consider using pitchers without a sinker or cutter. I'm one of those people. For the most part, because it is the meta. So a quick thing to say, I think, on on the meta pitch mix. The more you watch Major League Baseball today, the more that meta pitch mix actually seems to be real. Like, a lot of pitchers are abandoning four-seamers outright, mostly relievers, but there are a lot of other pitchers abandoning four-seamers outright. He's on the ceiling, but he is stagnant. They're abandoning it for sinkers and two-seamers because there's more action on them. It's harder to hit, harder to square up. And cutters to get you off of that harder sinker two-seamer if you're still throwing a four-seamer or whatever. So there is more realism now to the pitch mix than there was, say, 3 or 4 years ago, even in that short window of time. Realistically, there is more realism, if we're being honest. But the way to counteract the realism, or the way to counteract, the meta in MLB The Show is just to make the other pitches better. It's not about, at this point, pulling back on sinker cutter. Maybe a little bit. We don't have to completely nerf them. But we have to make the other pitches more viable. Who's a good, who throws it? Who throws it? Do you throw it? The sweeper is a good example this year of a pitch that's good, and Danny Kalum actually throws both the pitches I want to talk about. The sweeper, that helps. That makes breaking pitches better. And, I mean, maybe I'm a nutso Looney Tune. The knuckle curve this year seems to be all right. Like, am I crazy? It seems to be okay. Another pitch that's actually really good this year is... Do I have somebody who throws it? Oh, I do. The splitter's really good this year. Like, if you have a high-rated splitter, it's actually hard. Like, it's difficult to pick up. So I do think they're starting to move in the right direction. Unfortunately, sinker cutter, plus when you have outlier sinker and cutter, it's going to dominate the meta. It just simply is. Until significant pitching changes are made, either to the pitching engine, to the pitching strategies, to the way they map certain pitches. I do think sinkers up in the zone should still be moving less. Even though in Major League Baseball, as I said, they are starting to throw sinkers up. Like, they're starting to throw sinkers, power sinkers that can be swing and miss pitches versus ground ball pitches. It's a weird line they have to try to draw and figure out. I think pitching is a little more balanced this year. Still has ways to go, but that's kind of where I'm at with it. The spider is... Oh, he's in a corner now. I don't know if I can get him over there. Ladies and germs, that is the 10-minute mailbag. I know we didn't really get to a lot of questions today. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I lost him. This is going to be... If you guys don't hear from me again, it's because I either A, turned into Spider-Man, or B, was eaten by that thing over there. It's really occupying my eyesight, clearly. But yeah, we learned some things today. Use the handbook. There are stats that, or attributes, see, even I am guilty of it, attributes that don't matter in Diamond Dynasty. But now it's clear for the world to see. So that's that. Thank you guys. Love you guys. See you next time. And wish me luck with this 8-legged beast.